Ralph Simmons, all kind of crazy colors, living colors, left wrist, roll it butter, ice, make some Margiela my sweater.
What is up, guys? And today we're going over everything that has pretty much been announced about the brand new and ever so sexy Essential phone, or Essential PH-1. That's literally what it's called, and it's coming straight from Andy Rubin, who, if you didn't know, is pretty much the creator of Android, so he should probably know what he's doing, and from the looks of things, he sure freaking does. So kicking things off, this phone, as you've probably already noticed, has a beautiful screen that stretches from side to side with barely any bezel, sure to make even S8 owners just a tad intrigued, and iPhone 7 owners want to kill themselves. I am one of those people. This phone features a 2560 by 1312 Quad HD display with a 19 by 10 aspect ratio, so everything is going to look extremely crispy. The size of the display is 5.71 inches with rounded corners and is made from Corning Gorilla Glass 5. Now that's a pretty average-ish screen size nowadays, but since the screen to body ratio is so high on this thing, the size of the phone is much smaller than almost all of its competitors despite having the same screen size. As for the body of this phone, the sides are made from titanium, which is much stronger than the aluminum found on most phones like the S8, iPhone 7, etc. The back is also made from ceramic, which sort of gives off a glass look, but is more durable than glass. The phone weighs less than 35 grams, which is actually insane. The normal iPhone 7 is 138 grams, so I think they might have made a typo on their website. Maybe it's 135 instead of 35, but who knows, maybe this thing's going to be as light as air. As well, the thickness is a little less than 12 millimeters. So overall, the phone looks like it should have a pretty nice feel in the hand. So now going over everything found around the body of the Essential phone, we have on the upper front a front-facing camera capable of taking 8 megapixel photos and, get this, 4K video, goddamn. And that's it for the front of the phone because this thing does use on-screen buttons. On the back of this thing, you have both your flash and IR laser, along with the two cameras, which has become a lot more of a common trend on phones recently. Both cameras are 13 megapixels and have a f1.85 lens. The cameras use both color and monochrome sensors to capture up to 200% more light than traditional phone sensors, so in theory this thing should be a lot better at taking low light photos. Also, this phone has a true monochrome mode. The back camera can shoot 4K at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 60 frames per second, and 720p at 120 frames per second. Nice. Overall, the camera definitely sounds like it's going to end up offering one of the nicest experiences available on a phone right now. Continuing on, next to the cameras you have a microphone pinhole and two small magnetic connectors for connecting modules. That's right, this phone is pretty much attempting what many phones have tried but not mastered, being partly modular. I'm glad they added this feature as it eliminates the need for some dongles, connectors, cords, whatever, just snap and go. The only module they're offering at this moment is the 360-degree camera, which shoots some nice Ultra HD video at 30 frames per second, and of course, it's 360 degrees, so you can look all around when you're playing it back. Definitely a really cool attachment that should be nice if you have the extra money for it. Also on the back is the circular fingerprint scanner, which should be super fast. As well, if you hadn't noticed already, this phone has no branding whatsoever, which I really like. It gives it a cleaner look. The idea behind this is that just because they made the phone doesn't mean that it needs to be announced to everyone in your life, which I think is pretty cool. Now onto the bottom of the phone, where, dun dun dun, you'll find no headphone jack. While I think, along with many others, that the headphone jack isn't ready to die just yet, it seems phone makers feel otherwise as more and more flagships take an axe to the headphone jack. But anyway, all the way to the left is your speaker grill. In the middle we have a USB Type-C, heck yeah, your SIM tray, which you really never see on the bottom of a phone, and on the end you have another microphone pinhole. On the left and top of the phone you have nothing, with all the action taking place on the right side of this thing. You'll find your two separate volume up and down keys in addition to your power button below them. The phone comes in 4 different colors, which I think all look pretty darn sweet. There's Black Moon, available now, Stellar Gray, available soon, Pure White, available now, and finally Ocean Depths, available soon. The phone will start shipping out sometime this June. Now let's go over some specs because this thing is freaking loaded. Inside is a nice and big 3040 mAh battery capable of fast charging, as well as 4 gigs of RAM and 128 gigabytes of built-in storage. Also within this phone lives the Snapdragon 835, an Adreno 540 GPU, and a Cryo 280 octa-core processor, so this phone on paper seems it'll basically be able to handle everything and anything you throw at it. In addition to that, this phone does have NFC and the new and greatly improved Bluetooth 5.0, which offers things like being able to connect to 2 devices at once, quadruple the range, and double the speed. In terms of sound, low audio will be coming through the earpiece and high audio will be coming out of the loudspeaker. At the moment, this phone with the 360-degree camera is going for a discounted price of $750 or $700 for just the phone alone, which I gotta say, for what this phone is offering up compared to others and what they're charging, I think the Essential phone is priced pretty fairly. While that's still a shitload of money to drop on a phone, even if you feel like you're being ripped off sometimes, I think it's best to get a really nice phone, because if you're like me, you're on it 25 out of 24 hours a day. I'm just kidding. But anyway, what do you think of this phone? Let me know in the comments and I'll try to get back to you. Is it going to sell well? Personally, if you can already tell, I'm in love with this thing. It looks great, has some awesome specs, and some really cool features. I think it'll sell pretty darn well, but isn't going to be breaking any records. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome weekly videos just like this every week, or at least about every week. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.